Oh my gosh, what is that thing?
Hello.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna start. Oh my gosh. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna start today with part 2 of the first 400 horror movies I've seen. We just finished off at number 100, which was, for those who don't remember, Deep Red, the Italian Giallo movie. But now we're going to do the next 100. And I hope you guys enjoyed the ride because we're going to go through it quick and we're going to go through it fast and we're going to go through it fun. Okay? Are you guys ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay. 101. DeepStar Six. Great movie. Love every second of this movie. It's 4 stars because it is a non-stop thrill ride. If you haven't seen a good horror movie in a while, watch this one. It's not boring at all. Unless you're not a fan of 80s horror movies, then you'll be bored. Oh, so much energy. Come on, do you have anything to say? Don't let the camera fall. Freaking, you're useless. This is the worst co-host ever. At least he never steps on my toes. Can I get a laugh from the audience? Sorry, I know. It does drive. I don't know where I'm going with this. 102 is Demon Knight, which is 3.5 stars. This is the Tales from the Crypt movie. It's a good time. I think it has a slight pacing issue, but besides that, it's a lot of fun, and I liked it a lot. Number 103, Demons, 4 stars. If every horror movie could be like this, I would be very happy. Demons is a classic and is the best Italian horror movie ever, besides maybe Zombie. Which, if you guys don't recognize, this is Lucio Fulci's Zombie. Anyways, I'm gonna pick my nose real quick. Hope I actually spent time to edit this. 104, Demons 2, 4 stars. It's I think the first one's more classic. But this one's honestly just as entertaining for the most part. It doesn't have as epic as scenes, but it's pretty good. Number 105, The Descent, 3 stars. I think it dragged a little bit and none of the characters are likable. So there's that. The Descent 2 is 106 and it got 1.5 stars. Very boring, very stupid, very pretentious. All of the worst things a horror movie can be. Actually, very stupid is okay. Unless you're very pretentious and stupid. Then it's like, what are you thinking? 107 is Devil's Rejects. I was not a fan of this one when I first watched it, but when I watched it again, I actually was like, okay, I see the charm to this one, and I give it 4 stars. 108 is Diary of the Dead from 2007. I give this one 2 stars. Probably my least favorite George A. Romero film. There is some good stuff in it, but overall, none of the characters are likable. Which goes for the sequel, Survival of the Dead. And really, Diary of the Dead sucks. I'd say, honestly, stick to the first 3, and then watch Land of the Dead if you want a modern zombie movie. Besides that, it's not that good. Diary of the Dead. 109, Dracula from 1931. I give this one 3 stars. The reason why it's not 4 stars is because the version I watched had a soundtrack added to it. So I think it still counts, because whatever. But it was very overpowering, and apparently the original movie is very doesn't have a soundtrack. But I didn't like it that much the first time I watched it. I thought there was like pacing issue. This, of course, has some of the most classic visuals of any horror movie of all time. All right. 110, Dracula, the Spanish version. I like this one significantly more than the English one. I think it's because I didn't grow up with the English one. I didn't grow up with the Spanish one either. But I wasn't as impressed by Bela Lugosi as everyone else is. I liked it a lot though. This one's a very good movie. It's probably my favorite Universal horror movie besides maybe The Mummy. Yeah, I give this one 4 stars. 111, Dracula vs. Frankenstein. It is 2.5 stars. This one's a lot better than I thought it would be. It's still not good, but it was for a trashy 70s movie that could have been on Mystery Science Theater. I've seen a lot worse. I just thought it was going to be boring, and I don't think I was ever bored, and I was actually pretty impressed with some of the plot developments. But yeah. 112 is Drag Me to Hell. Sam Raimi without Bruce Campbell. Who knows what they were thinking. It's 4 stars. 113, Dusk Till Dawn, 2 stars. That's a little controversial. And my explanation behind that is because I thought it was kind of pretentious and dumb. Yeah. I love Planet Terror though, so go figure. 114, The Earth Dies Screaming. 4 stars. This is one of my favorite 50s horror movies. I always forget about it, but it is really, from start to finish, it's short, and it's freaking entertaining as heck, and I love every second of it. It is just so much fun. I highly recommend this one to anyone who likes 50s horror. The Earth Dies Screaming. When I used to do my ratings out of 10 out of 10, this was a 10 out of 10, which is a lot more rare than a 4 star. So keep that in mind. 115, Earth vs. Spider, 3 stars. It's good fun. Yeah. 116, Eight-Legged Freaks, 4 stars. Very stupid, but if you're, I wasn't bored. 117, Enjoy, 2 stars. Good luck finding this one. 118, Eraserhead, 2 stars. Just not good. I'm glad I can say I watched it, but it's not good. 119, The Evil Dead, 4 stars. One of the best horror movies of all time, no question. 120, Evil Dead 2, 4 stars. I don't know which one I like more. It probably depends on my mood. I think the Evil Dead, the first one's a little more Halloween-y. The second one's a little more fun. But they're both really fun. I don't know. I don't like comparing them because I think usually I go with the first one, but I really do like the second one too. 121, Evil Ed. I think this is the Swedish one. Yeah. I was not a fan, really. It gets 2.5 stars because there's some really fun parts. But there's a lot of, like, the characters aren't likable except for this one guy. If you've seen it, the guy's boss in it, who I think is really funny. 122, The Evil of Frankenstein. This is one of the Hammer ones. I don't think I remember it too well. I don't remember which one it is. I'm giving it 3 stars though, apparently. So check it out. That's pretty low though for a Hammer film. Just stick with the first Frankenstein, the first Dracula. 123, The Exorcist, 3.5 stars. Yep. It's been talked about enough. I think it's not as good as everyone says it is, but it's still a good time. I think it takes a little too long to build up. So 124 is The Exorcist 2, 1.5 stars. This movie has been talked about to death, but the truth is it's just not good. Like it's not like a fun bad. It's not like it's a little bit of a tree bad, but it's mostly just kind of like disappointing and like just boring. Don't watch it. I mean, watch it because you kind of have to. It's kind of an important, required watching for a horror movie enthusiast. But honestly, it's not good. Like it's not like an impressive bad. It's just like this is not good. It's just disappointing. It's just not good. How many times can I say it's just not good? Well, there you go. The Exorcist 2, not very good. 125, The Exorcist 3, I give this 4 stars. You know why I give this 4 stars? It's because it's the best one. And it's one of the few horror movies, not one of the few, but it has one of the best jump scares of all time. As far as older horror movies, those are kind of rare. There's The Exorcist 3, and there's Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. So basically sequels to classics have good jump scares. Interesting how that works. Insidious 3 is a 4 star. Exorcist 3. That was a Freudian slip. That's number 125. So we're 1/4 of the way there, ladies and gentlemen. Exorcist 3 is 4 stars. 126, Eye of the Beast. This is like a sci-fi channel movie. It's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. That's all I'm going to say. It was 4 stars. So if you're going to watch a sci-fi piece of crap, this is actually one of the more entertaining pieces of crap. I give it 4 stars. That's pretty good. 127, Fiend Without a Face. I was very excited. This movie was very hyped up to me, but I thought it was going to be like farmers getting attacked by brains by invisible brains. It's kind of weird saying that out loud. But it's more like the army is fighting something that was created, and I thought that's a little bit of a letdown. So I gave it 2 stars. 128, Final Destination. I gave it 3 stars. Good stuff. Final Destination 2, 2.5 stars. Final Destination 3, 3 stars. I don't know which one's my favorite. Probably Final Destination 3 is the most fast-paced. I think it has really hot girls in it too. There's that one girl that's really hot. Yeah. 131, Flesh Eating Mothers. It is just as good as a movie called Flesh Eating Mothers could be. If you're disappointed in it, that's weird. Number 132, The Fly, 1958, 4 stars. Great movie. Not as good. No, great movie. I didn't like it as much when I first watched it when I was like 13. Thought it was kind of boring. Because I was hoping it to be like a fly runs around killing people, and I thought that would be super fun, and I wanted that kind of movie, which is what the sequel is actually. But as I got older, I definitely liked this one more than Return of the Fly. But The Fly, the remake from 1986, is probably my favorite horror movie of all time. I gave it 4 stars. Yeah, I don't know what it is. This movie just, it's not my typically it would be a movie like Demons that I look for when I'm looking for horror movies to watch. And I don't like body horror typically, but The Fly is a great time. And I highly recommend it to those who haven't seen it. It's just really, really good. Okay, 134, The Fog, 4 stars. I haven't seen this one in a flat 5 years, which is not actually that long now that I think about it. But I was starting it the other day and I wasn't getting as engaged. To be fair, I was a little distracted with the ladies. You know what I'm trying to say, guys? But I think I remember the very good thing about this one is the atmosphere, which is something that John Carpenter pulls off very well. 135 is Frankenhooker, 3 stars. It's a lot of fun. I think the ending is a little too weird for me. But besides that, it's a really good time. I loved, I would say almost every single second of this movie. I love the New Jersey accents in it. 136 is Frankenstein, 1931, which I give 3.5 stars. It's a classic, but I think there are some dumb things in it. Frankenstein, we are at 138 for all you Misfits fans. Frankenstein, 80, 1.5 stars. This movie is terrible. This is so bad. But it's one of the only Frankensteins. I was going to do a Frankathon a little while ago, and I might still do it eventually. This was one of the films I watched for that. And it's the only Frankenstein movie that talks about having to give Frankenstein's monster a dick. So, there's that. It has that going for it. Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. It's classic, 3 stars. 140, Frankenstein's Army, 2 stars. These are all done for the Frankathon. Well, except for Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. Yeah, Frankenstein's Army is 2 stars. I actually think this one has a lot of potential. It had a lot of potential. I think it was a really good idea. Really lots of fun ideas. I just think it was kind of boring. Yeah. 141 is Frankenstein versus the Mummy. It is a terrible movie. It's from the director of Terrifier and All Hallows Eve. All Hallows Eve sucks. Terrifier is pretty dang good. But this one is awful. It is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. But it's only 1.5 stars, so it's actually not too bad. 142, Frankenweenie is 4 stars. This may not be considered a horror movie. Sorry about that. I have scratches from a rabbit. Frankenweenie is good though. It's one of my favorite Tim Burtons. 143 is Friday the 13th Part 1. We're about to go through all the Friday the 13th, just a heads up. I won't rank them, but I will say Friday the 13th Part 1 is very good. I give it 4 stars. Friday the 13th Part 2 is 4 stars and probably my favorite of the series. Yeah. There's been Friday the 13th Part 3, and I give that 4 stars. And there's a Friday the 13th Part 4, which I also give 4 stars. And then there's Friday the 13th Part 5, which I also give 4 stars. And there's Friday the 13th Part 6. That one was 4 stars. And can you guess what Friday the 13th Part 7 was? 3 stars. Very disappointing. I was very disappointed in you, Jason. You can do better. Friday the 13th Part 8 is 3 stars. I think it's very mediocre. And that's, I love, Friday the 13th is my favorite slasher series, besides 7 and 8. Friday the 13th Part 9 is 4 stars. Yeah, I didn't expect it to be 4 stars, but I loved this movie so much. And then it's Friday the 13th, the remake, and I give that one 2 stars. I think, like, it's hard to, like, screw up a slasher movie, especially, like, if you know the formula. But they did it. 153 is Fright Night from the 80s, and I give it 2 stars. I wasn't a fan. It was lost on me a little bit. I think it was a little cheesy. In a fruity way. I don't know how else to say it. I'm sorry if that offends anyone. Fright Night from the 2000s is like 2 stars. I think it's just as good as the original, except for it's still stupid. 155 from Hell It Came, 2 stars. Very boring movie. I was hoping it would be like a good bad movie. It's not. There's a lot better bad movies, if that makes sense. All right. 156. Frozen, 2010. That's the one where they're on the ski lift. 2.5 stars. Has some great scenes, especially this first scene where the guy jumps off the ski lift and then is surrounded by wolves. I love that scene, but every other scene is mostly forgettable and just kind of stupid. Yeah. 157. Galaxy of Terror, 4 stars. I love this movie. Watch it if you're a fan of 80s horror movies and you want to watch something trashy. It's very trashy. That's one of the trashiest things that was ever put to screen. But if you love that kind of stuff, then it's right for you. Yeah. Okay. 158. Gargoyles, I give it 2 stars. I give that one 2 stars because the beginning was great, and the rest sucked. It became like a fantasy movie halfway through. First half was great though, it was like a classic monster film. 159, Get Duped, 1.5 stars, really dumb. 160, Get Out, 2.5 stars. I think it's overrated. I think it's not as it's pretentious is what I'll say about it. And pretentiousness very much can ruin a horror movie for me. So there's that. Alright, 161, Ghostbusters, 1984, we give that one 4 stars. Yep. It's a horror movie. I mean, it's not a horror movie first, but technically it's a horror movie. It's about ghosts and busters. Thank you. 4 stars. Great movie. If you haven't seen it, you should see it. Alright, Ghostbusters 2. 2 stars. Not terrible, but not good. 163, The Giant Claw. 2 stars. I was hoping this would also be a really good bad movie, but it's really not. It's really just... It's just bad. It's boring. The monster is infamous, and deservedly so. I didn't think so when I'd seen many reviews of this one. And I saw the monster and I think it looked really bad compared to other 50s movies, but there's something about it when you watch it in the context of the movie that makes it look awful. Yeah. 164, The Giant Spider. 2 stars. That was weird. That one's interesting. 165, Giant Spider Invasion. 2 stars. I don't remember that one really. I think that one was on Mystery Science Theater. Sorry about that. 166 is God Told Me To. 4 stars. Probably my favorite Larry Cohen film. 167 is Godzilla 1954. And that one is 3.5 stars. I saw the original Japanese version. I haven't seen the American version. But I thought it was a good time. Yeah. But there's a little bit of a pacing issue, I think, which I've heard is fixed in the American version. But anyways, 168. Oh wait, real quick though with Godzilla. I will say Godzilla is a lot scarier of a monster than I thought he was going to be, especially in the context of the Hiroshima. Because honestly, his head, it looks like a radiation victim, a little bit. So keep your eye out for that. 168 is Green Room, 4 stars. That is a thrill ride. Watch it if you can watch this with anyone that has a strong stomach. Really good stuff, Green Room. 169, Gremlins is 3 stars. I think it gets a little too weird. Yeah, which I know is gonna probably give me some trash, but yeah, there you go. 170 is The Gray, which is 2.5 stars. 171 is Grotesque, which is 1 star. Terrible, terrible movie. It's one of those horror movies that makes you never want to watch a horror movie again. Don't watch Grotesque. 172 is The Grudge. Produced by Sam Raimi, just not as good as Sam Raimi's normal stuff. It's 2 stars. 173, Halloween. I assume this is the original. Yeah, the original. 4 stars. Classic. Watch it. Of course you should watch it. Halloween 2, 4 stars. This is, for me, it's kind of similar to like the Evil Dead thing. Halloween 2 is such a good time. I love every second of this movie. But Halloween is more classic and has more epic moments. But Halloween 2, if you're a fan of like the cheesy monster movies, watch this one. It's really good. It has one of the hottest characters in a horror movie, I think. Which, I'm all about. 175, Halloween 3. I give that one 4 stars. Yeah, this one's been talked about enough. Halloween 4, 4 stars, although it is the weakest one of the series at this point. Up to number 4. There's definitely worse Halloween movies. Halloween 2018, we're giving that one 3 stars. It was alright. I think it was still it was a little stupid. Which maybe newer movies are held to a higher standard. I'm sorry about that, but that's just how it works. 178, Happy Death Day, which is 3 stars. That's fun. Better than I thought it was going to be. 179, 2.5 stars. Wait, the movie's not called 179. The movie's called Hatchet. That one's 2.5 stars. It's almost good. 180, The Haunted Mansion, 3 stars. Not as good as I remembered it when I was a kid. 181, Haunting in Connecticut, 2 stars. Straight garbage. 182, Haunting in Connecticut 2, straight garbage. I was told there's going to be a really good jump scare. Did not see a single one. Thank you. 183, The Haunting of Hill House, From the 50s, that's 3 stars. 184, The Head Incident, 3 stars. Or 3.5 stars. I've only seen the full version. I haven't seen the slimmed down version, I think. But I really liked it. I thought the atmosphere was very good. 185, Heathers, 2.5 stars. It was alright. 186, Hell Night, 2 stars. Linda Blair, turns out, really doesn't make a good movie too often. 187, Hello Mary Lou, Prom Night 2. I guess 3 stars. I think there was a pacing issue. I think that was the problem with that one, but overall it was a lot of fun, I think. 188, Hellraiser, 4 stars. I think this was technically the 400th horror movie I saw, and holy cow, this was an amazing movie. It takes a little bit to build up, but once you get like a half an hour in, your mind is going to be shredded, and you're going to be like, holy crap, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's just really awesome, and the girl is really pretty too. 189, Hereditary, 3 stars. Yeah, it's alright. I think it's not as scary as everyone says, but I can see what they're saying when they think it's scary. But I've seen much scarier, I think. 190 is The Hideous Sun Demon. Wait, actually, you know, this one's not going to be on the list because it was after the 400 mark, but Malignant, the new one, I actually thought that one was, it was really dumb, but there's some scary crap in that. If you're looking for a modern horror movie that's scary, that's a good route to go. 190, The Hideous Sun Demon, 4 stars. Yeah, that one's good. I like this one. It's actually, there's some stuff in it. I'm like, wow, this is from the 50s. Cool. I don't know. I like this one a lot, actually. And it's public domain, so check it out. I think it's public domain, actually. Don't hold me to that. 191, The Hills Have Eyes, 2004. I haven't seen the originals. That's probably the highest profile horror movie I haven't seen, I think, is that one. Is the original Hills Have Eyes. But I give this one 3 stars. I think the second half was better, from what I remember. There's some effed up crap in this one, though. 192, Horror of Party Beach, 2.5 stars. Yeah, that one's not good. 193, Horror of Spider Island, 2 stars. Okay, I keep doing this. 192, Horror of Party Beach. Some chick who doesn't watch horror movies told me that I should watch Horror of Party Beach. She's like, oh, it's so stupid, but so fun. I watched it, it was just stupid. This wasn't fun. I like a good stupid movie. This one was just kind of boring and kind of like whatever, just forgettable. So screw you, chick who told me to watch that. Anyways, that one's 2.5 stars. Horror Spider Island was 2 stars. I haven't seen this one in like 16 years though. 194, House by the Cemetery, 4 stars. Love the last half an hour of this movie so freaking much. 195, House of Frankenstein, 2 stars. I think I remember which one this is. I know it's in the Universal one, but I don't remember much more than that. 196, House of Wax, the original, 2.5 stars. It's a little too artsy. 197, House on Haunted Hill, 1959, 4 stars. I watch this movie probably like 3 or 4 times a year because it's just so easy to watch. And it's short. Watch this one if you haven't. I mean, of course there's like some things that don't make sense, but like, just enjoy it, okay? It's a lot of fun. 198, House on Sorority Row, 2.5 stars. I'm struggling to remember which slasher this is. Oh, this is the one where they like kill someone on accident, I think. Unless that's Hell Night. I don't think that's not Hell Night. But yeah, okay, cool everyone. Thanks for listening to that useful piece of information. Anyways, 199, I Am Legend, 2 stars. It's very good, very impressive until the dog dies. Spoiler, sorry. After that, it just gets depressing. It's not really fun anymore. But before that, there's a lot of like intense, fun scenes. But after that, it's just kind of like Will Smith is whiny, and none of the characters are likable anymore. Yeah. All right. And for the finale for this video, 200 Ice Sharks, 2 stars. This is a generic shark movie, and I really am trying to remember what it was, but I think this one's pretty bad from what I remember. Because I gave it 2 stars. I think it was boring. I think that was this one's problem. But it started out, like, the first scene was alright, actually. I think, from what I recall. Anyways, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me today for this part 2 of the first 400 horror movies I've seen. I hope I see you next time, all you lovers, all you Crispin Glovers. Haha, I didn't see that one coming. Alright, I love you all very much. I really am gonna miss you. Just a kiss before I go? I don't know.